Should you learn a language by yourself or in a classroom? Short answer, you can do it by yourself. It doesn't really matter. Don't click out. Long answer, it depends on a few things. By the way, my name is Monica. I'm a lover of learning languages, of learning anything really, but I do love learning languages, and I do hope to talk more about language learning in the future because it is definitely one of my passions. So I'm going to talk about previous knowledge, your level of self-discipline and motivation, the resources that are available to you, and the time period. So, of course, previous knowledge is super important because if you've already learned a language in a school, in a classroom setting, then you know like what the stepping stones are to how the language learning should go. What I meant here is if you know what you need to know, then learning it will be easier. For example, in a classroom, they set up what you should be learning at the beginning, which is usually greetings, family members, colors, the ABCs, etc. Like really simple things that you probably don't care to learn when you're doing it by yourself. You wouldn't learn calculus without first knowing how to multiply, how to divide, how to add, all that stuff. So that's what I mean. Knowing what you need to know helps you in the long run. So when you're in a classroom, you have extrinsic motivation to learn that language because chances are you probably care about your grades. You don't want to fail that class because you might have to retake it, etc. So you have reasons to learn it. Do you like having that extrinsic motivator? If you do, at what level do you want to have that motivator? Do you just want to have a little owl in your ear every day in the morning, hey, do your lessons? Or do you want to have like a grade? When I was in high school, I tried to learn German by myself, but to me, learning German wasn't like a necessity. I just wanted to do it for fun. So what this led me to was not grasping anything because I was just doing it on Duolingo, and it was like anytime I had free time, which wasn't very often. The thing I like about Duolingo is that there's a lot of motivators there for you. If you are like trying to challenge just you against yourself, then they have the daily streak, which is great to do. So the other thing about Duolingo that I forgot to mention was the leaderboards. If you don't find it motivating enough to try to compete against your own high scores, they do have leaderboards where you can compete against other Duolingo users. I personally really like that feature. I am a little bit competitive, just a little bit though. A big factor of learning anything, not just languages, is testing yourself and seeing, do I really have the knowledge in my head or have I just been memorizing it? Now, of course, memorization is a key tool in all of this, but testing yourself, that's when you really get to know, okay, this is what I need to work on. Quizlet has a few testing options that you can use, which would be very helpful, and they are free. Duolingo does have a few testing options here and there. If all you have is just the internet and maybe a notebook like this one right here, that's all you really need, honestly. That's why right now I'm trying to learn French through YouTube videos, Duolingo, and of course, it doesn't just have to be you take a whole course where you learn up to like an A2 level or A1 level and that's it, or you don't just have to do everything by yourself. Italki has like tutors where you just book a few lessons. You don't need like the whole semester. You just need a few lessons with a tutor to talk to them, and then you're good. And they're not obviously as expensive as taking a whole class. Depending on the type of learner that you are, classes either hinder you or help you, right? I mean, maybe it isn't helpful to have everyone at a different level. And that's where having your own learning in your own hands does help a lot, because maybe you don't want to spend a whole hour just listening to other people mispronounce words. It just depends. It just depends on how you would compare to other people in a classroom. Maybe you have a full-time job and you don't really want to spend a whole other hour of your week going somewhere to learn a language. Then learning it by yourself is kind of better because you put whatever time you have available to do it. However, just to be clear here, that's the reason that I failed at learning German the first time. Well, that and like the lack of motivation. Of course, this is the most important factor, the money. You don't have to pay for anything. When you're doing your work, if you want to learn a language by yourself, there is absolutely zero reason that you will have to spend money. Duolingo is free, however, it does have a lot of ads. I will tell you that. The downsides of Duolingo is that in like a few lessons that you do, after each lesson, there's an ad that sometimes you can close immediately and sometimes you have to watch all the way through. I'm just popping up on here again to say that Duolingo does have a paid option for $6.99, I believe, per month. You get to skip all the ads and you get unlimited hearts, unlimited lives, which means unlimited mistakes. They also let you take quizzes and they let you re-listen to your pronunciation of certain exercises. So if you wanted that, that's an option. And you know, the ads tend to be very annoying. But otherwise, it is a really, really great tool. And the best part about it is that you can do it at any time of the day, any day of the week. Similarly with YouTube videos, you can do them at any time. With class, you have to be free at that time. You have to be ready to do it at that time. So I know what I prefer is doing it on my own time. This is another reason that I messed up when I was learning a language by myself the first time. I didn't use all of the resources available to me. So let this be a cautionary tale. Don't just use Duolingo. Don't be that guy that has a 1,000-day streak but only does one lesson a day and therefore doesn't even have like a A1 level understanding of French. No shade. So to recap the video, do I think that you can learn a language by yourself? 100%. However, I would try to add a little bit more structure than you might have thought at first. Don't just rely on one resource for all of your information. Really try to have different voices, different apps, and different people helping you out. Have a little bit of a structure to it. Have a reason to be motivated. Give yourself goals. And most important of all, don't give up. Do not give up, because although it may be hard at first, once you find the rhythm of it all, once you have your groove, you'll have a really cool thing at the end of it all. So, yeah. I hope this video was somewhat helpful to you. If I missed anything, just let me know. Thank you for watching.